Hey guys, Tara here, bringing you another 1v1 today. This one is between the machine, playing as US forces, spawning on the right. Cast the machine many times before, saying like 150, I think he's top 100. And playing against him, playing for the OKW, is Storm Tiger Frost, who is also top 100. As quite a few factions, so pretty high level game here between these two. We are on Kholodny Ferma Winter. Classic move for OKW on this map is to bring a truck and crush this little fenceway here so you can get your troops through there. We'll see if Frost executes that common maneuver. Of course, this is a tough spawn, I feel, on this, especially on the winter map. There's so much deep snow right outside your base. If they do manage to gain control of this garrison, it can be quite hard to just get out of your base, because you have trouble getting through all of this deep snow. Just look at that. A wide out going down here on that truck. Generally it is the person who spawns on the left who gets the opportunity to wire this truck off.
You got a rifle squad waiting for orders. That was too easy.
3 rifles so far from the machine. Oh, as I should probably mention the loadouts, for the machine we have Mechanized Company, Armor Company and Rifle Company. Did cast the machine playing Armor Company before on Angerville. And he's actually selected Mechanized Company. He spotted that Kubel and he decided he wanted to bring out the Jeep. WC-51 to try and deal with that. We'll see how he gets on. Storm Pioneers engaging rear echelons in the south. Storm Pioneers closing into close range. They're definitely going to win that fight. Storm Pioneers... Well, that's double Storm Pioneers from Frost. Interesting strategy here. Storm Pioneers, I believe, do not receive movement penalties going through heavy snow or deep snow, so that's definitely something to consider on a winter map like this. Jeep's trying to chase down the Kubel, getting some good damage off on it. Oh, but it just gets away. The machine kind of had a bit of trouble getting through this area here with this pathing. Still, the machine is doing pretty well right now. He's got both the fuels under his control. Frost does have the central munitions under his control, however, and 2 of the victory points, so that's the way this match split has gone so far. WC-51 continuing to do a bit of harassment. Rifles engaging Storm Pioneers at long range. Rifles should win this one now, especially since they dropped that squad member. You see Mechanized Regiment. It's gone down for Frost, and he has activated fuel transfer, so probably trying to speed up his progress towards a flak half-track. Riflemen do win out the day in the south and they're going to regather that fuel, so Frost is definitely suffering from having no fuel control in the early game. And that flak half-track is going to be quite slow as a result. The machine, on the other hand, should have plenty of fuel or tech, but
Area's ours.
not much munitions. So tech upgrades such as bars,
One of our capture points.
at least in the early game, may be impractical.
That's done.
Kubel suppresses rifles in the south. Looks like they may just finish decapping that and then retreat. Rifles behind this heavy cover, trying to prevent Frost's advance. Stern Pioneers also closing in. Rifles now pinned in the south, so... But here comes the Jeep! It's taking quite a lot of damage though on that rifle squad. Has he got an ambulance? No ambulance yet either, so... That squad's in a bit of trouble. Do see the machine has ticked a captain, and that's on the field now. Probably going to try hunt that down. I don't think I've ever seen the captain inside a Jeep as a anti-vehicle option. That would be quite novel. See that the Kubel is protected by this Shrek squad here. That's nice positioning there from Frost.
Supply half-track is in action. Standing by for setting of
Machine
command
just
post.
continues to camp up here in the north, having his rifles sit behind some heavy cover, really preventing the advances of Frost. That's why he needs his flak half-track. Try and break his containment.
Heavy fortification now available. Pioneers standing
He's actually disengaged fuel transfer right now and hasn't gone for the flak half-track, so I'm not sure what he plans to do next. Captain trying to chase down that Kubel. Bazooka's pretty rubbish at long range though, the accuracy is quite poor. Oh, Stern Pioneers could wipe these rifles on retreat. They've got some heavy snow to go through. If he continues... Oh, I think if he continued to chase there, he might have actually been able to get that rifle squad there. Two Stern Pioneers. This is no joke. They do plenty of damage. Stern Pioneers goes into close range on the rifles, forcing them to retreat also. And away they go. So Frost has finally managed to break the containment in the north, and yeah, you can see this the Stern Pioneers running through that heavy or deep snow at full speed there, so is indeed correct. So can assault engineers, I believe, and panzer grenadiers, and shock troops, I believe. The so-called assault troops can run through deep snow without any movement penalties. Uh-oh, ambulance in trouble here from the machine. He's what? He must have set a bad rally point or something. Stern Pioneers trying to chase it down. Main gun destroyed. Oh no, the gun on the ambulance may not be working, and now he's almost blocking it with his Stuart. Of course, the feature of mechanized is withdraw and refit.
The capture point is under attack.
So he could withdraw that Jeep if he chooses to, try to get back. I think it's 80% of your resources. Stuart working some magic, chasing off those Stern Pioneers. We see a Puma now actually, so that's a good choice from Frost. Saw the captain decide to go with Puma. He knew that his flak half-track was going to be super late anyway because he had no fuel control in it for the first period of the game. So now we're going to see the Puma versus Stuart matchup. Really depends if the Puma, if the Stuart can get some good shell shocks off to stun the Puma as to who will win that victory. No, win that fight. Win that victory. What was I saying there? It's quite early in the morning here, so my brain may not be all the way turned on. Well, Puma does need to get to Vet 1 to use its aim shot. Whereas Stuart can use shell shock at Vet 1. What is that? He's actually withdrawing his and refitting his Stuart. Still the Puma decided it's not worth the effort.
Contact! Infantry!
And I imagine he's going to use that to try to take up to a Sherman even faster. Google now chasing off those troops from the centre. Frost has managed to gain 2 victory points and a fuel, and he's locked down the central munitions pretty much the entire game, so he's doing pretty well there.
All units are to take immediate action.
Oh yes, machine has already unlocked the major. I didn't see it up here. There it is. Oh, just coming onto the field now. And I'll be curious, I imagine he's going to go for a fast Sherman, and that makes sense considering how good his fuel control has been. He's actually floating a heck of a lot of manpower right now, but he does have a pretty decent infantry base here. He may consider going for an AT gun. No, he's actually going for a pack howitzer. Very expensive in terms of manpower, so that's one way to soak it up. But actually, maybe the AT gun wouldn't have been the worst choice. Considering has a high rate of fire and has no trouble penetrating the Puma. Definitely a sound option to counter that Puma. Machine sending a force to the south, trying to prevent harassment of his fuel. Grenade from Frost easily dodged there by the machine. Oh, he's actually got a fighting position here in the south. Interesting, and it's got the 50 cal upgrade on it, so that's going to prevent harassment. I'd say Frost probably needs to get his Ferma down there to knock that out. Captain takes a nade, but was in heavy cover, so took reduced damage from that grenade. Oh, but what was that? That was a rifle squad that went down up there. And the machine's actually going straight for Jackson. I see that his bulletin's not actually for the Jackson, it's for the M10 Wolverine from the Armour Company Doctrine, so... And he's also got the Easy 8. So all of his bulletins are for doctrinal tanks.
No enemy OPs report the weather is lifting. Stand by for confirmation.
Still, this is a pretty early Jackson. And the good thing is, he hasn't really engaged with the Puma much. So it hasn't got the aim shot. If it did have the aim shot, it may actually cause the Jackson some troubles. But because the Puma has had nothing to engage against, it has almost no veterancy, and accordingly the Jackson should rule the day with its vastly high damage. Pack out. Oh, nasty hit on the stern pioneer as well. Push coming here from the machine straight down the centre. He's done a push from this avenue a few times. He hasn't had much success. Uh-oh, Major's about to go down here. Oh, down it goes. 2 models went down to the Shrek Snipe. Looks like the machine's too busy trying to chase down that Puma in the north. He's not having much luck. Jackson is quite audible. It's quite a loud tank. You can hear it through the fog of war quite well.
Valiant assault is now at hand. The troops await your command.
Kugel's still alive. Has been doing a good job locking down the centre for the last few minutes. Now bouncing up, moving to the south along with the Puma, which is finally going to try and knock out that fighting position, I imagine. With the support of some Panzerschrecks. And this has left the machine in a bit of a troublesome position here. He doesn't have the Sherman, so he doesn't have really very good anti-infantry. Doesn't really have... I suppose he could take up to bars, but bars are quite expensive. And he hasn't had very good munitions control, though he does have quite a lot of munitions in the bank. I'm not sure what he's planning to do here. Fulton Jaeger chase off some rifles in the north. Captain up there as well, though. Ferma coming through the south. Oh, nice hit there, and he does. He has indeed tick bars. Looks like he's got double bars on that squad. Maybe double bars on both squads. Large investment, but it's going to make those squads deadly. Of course, you can fire bars on the move, which is part of what makes them so potent. Oh, Jackson one hits the cable, down it goes. It had a pretty good run though. Still being live 16 minutes into the game, that's pretty good. Battlegroup headquarters has gone down from Frost. He's actually going to build a ISG. So we're going to see a bit of indirect fire from both teams. Pack howitzer versus ISG. Both not really terribly good, to be honest. Probably a bit too expensive in terms of manpower for both guns, both howitzers. Large push coming here through the north, and there's no Kubel to suppress this, so maybe successful. He does have the captain to deal with the Ferma. Looks like he's just trying to deal with the stern pioneers first, and that's a good idea. Double bars. Even double bars are no match for 3 Folk squads though. Jackson sitting now on base. Not up to much. He could maybe just jump out of that Jackson and decrease his population and reduce his manpower drain, or increase his manpower income, whichever way you want to think about it.
Target secure. That's it. Our supply lines have been cut. Americans are making a push. Our resource sector has been cut off from our supply chain.
Pack howitzer has 5 kills, nearly vet 1 now. Jackson has moved to the north to cover these rifles from the Puma. Puma still, I suppose it's going alright. 5 kills. Hasn't had much to do though, seeing as the Stuart was withdrawn and refitted. Large push through the north from Frost. He's got all of his heavy anti-infantry. He's actually using Valiant Assault to make this push. Double stern pioneers running with Valiant Assault. Look how quick they are, just gassing it towards the north. For some reason they're going to flank this rifle squad with no issues. Oh, that was a nasty barrage there. So we're seeing some unconventional strategies from both teams. I think I almost never see Valiant Assault being used. I believe it's actually bugged. I think it just gives you the movement speed advantage, not actually a combat advantage, but I could be wrong. Could be thinking about a different ability. Oh, look at that pack howitzer shot. Almost wiped that squad in 1 hit. That's... Oh, and here comes the Jackson engaging the Puma. There's no reckoning with any Shrek squads anywhere nearby, but the Jackson briefly stopped here, and I think that Puma's going to get away. Jackson looks like it's going for the crush, but he's having a bit of trouble. Jackson's quite slow. Much easier to crush with the M10 or the Sherman. Rifles moving through the south, trying to regather that territory down here. If we look at the victory points, pretty much dead even right now. That being said, the machine doesn't really have as good of a late game as Frost. Of course, OKW having access to Vet 5 is always good, and machine now has access to all of Mechanized's abilities. All of them are unlocked at Vet and 8 command points. Haven't seen the half-track assault group. Probably won't see that either. Could be useful if you have a lot of munitions and you could afford to use some demo charges on the assault engineers that come with it, but other than that, probably not worth it. Oh, down goes a bar. Lucky that the whole squad didn't go down there, but just going to increase the firepower of that Volk squad. Fallschirmjäger have to retreat. They're taking a pretty favourable retreat path though, getting away from these rifles, and they're very slow getting through this deep snow, and they're camouflaging quite a bit as well here. And I think that retreat path combined with the deep snow there definitely helped those Fallschirmjäger get away alive. I thought they were going to go down there. There's a large concentration of forces there from the machine in their retreat path. Such Stern Pioneers are going to run into this garrison now. Machine could try knock it down by running into it with his Jackson. Machine's now got quite a few squads freezing actually up here, so needs to address that. We are in the middle of a blizzard after all. The blizzard, of course, everybody's favourite feature. Not. Schwerexu has gone down here from Frost, so he's got all 3 tech structures now, maybe thinking about going for a King Tiger. Oh, that's Vet 3 on the captain, so that's going to have a sprint. And it's out of combat, which is always very useful. Packouts are trying to soften up these Volksgrenadiers, not really having much success though. ISG trying to work on this captain squad and also not having much success. Machine trying to get into close range, wants to get into the AoE of that fire. There we go, ISG gets a decent hit, suppressing the captain. That needs to retreat now, otherwise he'll risk losing those bazookas. We come the Fallschirmjäger for some support, and another set of Fallschirmjäger deployed, and that's going to chase off all the machine's forces there from the north. Machine's actually gone for 2 re-echelons, a bit of extra cannon power, and it's that 5 riflemen. That's a huge force of riflemen. I suppose he doesn't really have option to go for other infantry squads, so he doesn't have paratroopers or pathfinders, so he's just going to have to bank on his rifles. And because he's banking on those rifles, he definitely does need the bar upgrade, so he's made the right choice going for that. Rifle's no real match for all these Fallschirmjäger. Oh, look at that! Sherman hit wipes that Fallschirmjäger squad. Just as I thought those rifles were in big trouble, Sherman comes through with the goods. Frangible deployed there by Fallschirmjäger. Machine used attack ground through the smoke. Unsuccessful. Here's the Puma in the north, but the Jackson's there for support. Nice positioning here from the machine. Puma pot smoke to try and retreat. Stern Pioneers also on the retreat. We've got a Shrek squad here trying to open up on the Jackson. Frangible has now dispersed. Panzerfaust from the Fallschirmjäger, and now these folks are trying to deal a bit more damage to the Sherman. Puma can't really come to help though, so I don't think this is I don't think any real good can come of this engagement for Frost. He just risks losing his squad to a HE shell. Like that. I suppose it does gain him a bit of veterancy on his squad, but I honestly don't think that was a wise move. And he was quite lucky there that the first 3 or 4 shells actually missed. And the machine was microing that quite well. Every time the Sherman was ready to fire, he tried to stop it to maximize the Sherman's accuracy and chance of hitting that squad. Machine once again trying to push through the north. He has to keep on the heat in the north because it's a feature of this map. There are 2 victory points here in the north, so generally if you can hold on to both the victory points in the north, you tend to win the game. It can lead to quite campy play. It's quite common for OKW to go fortifications on this map and pack 43 somewhere in the north, and that will be very hard to break into. Not quite as common anymore. Ferma has been repaired, ready to engage the Sherman. Jackson's right here, and so is the captain, keeping that Ferma on its toes. Jackson may have found a window here for the Puma. Puma pops smoke. Jackson's trying to get around the corner. He's going to try fire through the terrain, but cannot. Hits that shot blocker instead. Fired up rifles here in the south. Managed to cap that victory point. Victory point's still pretty much dead even here. We look at army size, the Machine's 94 to Frost's 62, so Machine has a much larger army right now. Most of it tied up in infantry. He's actually got 3 rear echelons, so he hasn't gone very heavy into armor. Now he's trying to make a push on the Schwer HQ. Could consider deploying smoke with this Sherman and just using attack ground through smoke. Aim shot there from the Puma on the Jackson, trying to disable its turret. Now the Sherman's in trouble. Here comes a big blob of tricked up Volksgrenadiers. They're using Valiant Assault to try and get into close range on the Sherman tanks. Oh, but the pack houses suppresses that squad. It may be enough of a window for this Sherman to get away. Puma continues to chase. Valiant Assault runs out, and that Sherman's going to get away on a very low amount of health. Nice work there from the pack house. A couple lucky suppressive shots there during that Valiant Assault. Definitely putting a halt to Frost's advance. Frangible there deployed by the Fallschirmjäger. Rifles should still win this engagement. Actually, maybe he actually didn't get out of the Frangible smoke fast enough, so the rifles didn't fire for a long period of time, and accordingly he has to retreat. And he's actually just used his medic kit, so I'm not sure if those rifles will actually get healed up that far either. Of course, the Frangible can't actually kill units, much like White Phosphorus. It just brings them down to a fraction of their health, and a stiff wind will then finish the job. Big push here through the south, sending in his rear echelons first to try and tank the damage. Another Frangible deployed here by Frost, so he's really making use of those Frangibles. But that grenade just wiped his squad there. Fallschirmjäger also taking a bit of Frangible damage to try and clean out squad on retreat. Oh, ISG shot almost does the job, but is unsuccessful. Machine's actually going for a fuel cache there. Interesting choice. He's had pretty good fuel control so far. Thought a munitions cache may have been the wiser choice. considering he hasn't had control of the central munitions for, I don't think, the entire game. I don't think he's decapped that even once. Bolshevik now working on that cache. Sherman and Jackson moving to the north. Sherman goes in for the crush. Jackson working on the Puma. Sherman working on the infantry. May get one more shell off. Doesn't finish the job on that Shrek squad though. Looks like this cache is going to go down, and he uses the Panzerfaust in fact to finish the job on it before retreating. Here comes the Jackson and the Sherman. That shell hits the fence there, is unsuccessful in wiping that Bolshevik squad. Looks like the machine's going to put down another fuel cache, so he's committed to his fuel. Still got quite a lot of fuel in the bank.
Squad back to full strength. Back up to full force.
And this is generally where US forces start to run into trouble. Riflemen have trouble in the late game, even with double bars. They are not that good. Kind of lucky that Frost has deployed, I think, 3 Bolshevik squads instead of going for some Obersoldaten. Bolshevik are very good, but generally I think you need to get them up to about Vet 3 before they really start hitting their stride. Before that, they're a bit too squishy, too expensive, too hard to they cost too much to reinforce. Just not that good. Of course, they do have the utility of the Panzerfaust, which is quite helpful as OKW. Steam Pioneers with his rifles. That's a white phosphorus shell from the pack howitzer. Oh, but it gets a bit of friendly fire. Some machine gun losers. No. Oh, Fallschirmjäger doing a bit of damage. Drop a bar there with the machines, trying to stop the Fallschirmjäger from picking it up. Fallschirmjäger running across negative cover though to try and pick it up. Taking a lot of damage but managed to escape double bars. Rifles should close into close range here. They're probably going to lose this fighting from negative cover. I think he's just trying to protect the barb till another squad can get there, but not sure if he will be successful. Puma operating in the north. Hasn't got any more kills, but has done quite a lot of damage to vehicles, and accordingly we can see it's up to Vet 2 now. Getting another few hits off on this Sherman, which is in a bit of trouble now. Where's the Jackson? Jackson is still in base. Puma could go for the chase here. Here comes the Jackson now. It's damaged, quite heavily damaged, so I'm not sure if this is the best engagement, but... And the machine has actually fielded M1 now, so that was actually kind of more of a trap there. If the Puma did continue the chase, would have run into the Jackson and the M1 and definitely would have gone down. So nice tricky plays there from the machine. And having so many re-echelons, he can actually repair his vehicles quite quickly if he chose to. He's actually sending them out to the front lines instead. Machine... it's got a lot of units to micro right now. I don't envy his position. This can be quite a tough spot, and it looks like he may try and do the old popcat trip where you decrew your tanks, decrease your population, and then build a new tank, and you can actually go over 100 popcat as US forces, which kind of makes up for them not having heavy tanks, and of course riflemen not scaling that well into the late game. Problem with riflemen in the late game is they cost so much to reinforce, and they just, unless you've got 1919s, they're just not. Double bars are of course quite good as well, but they cost 120 munitions, and that's too much. Here comes the King Tiger. Misses his first shot, and good thing the machine has gone for that second Jackson. Needs to do the decrew though on his tanks to let that second Jackson pop out. Jackson fails to penetrate on its first shell. Jackson has no issues though against aim shot being used here by the Puma. King Tiger now running head on into the M1 as well. Should probably use armor piercing rounds. Sherman trying to soak up the damage from the King Tiger. Puma now trying to move around to the flank of the Jackson. M1, I don't think it's penetrated the King Tiger once yet. King Tiger's got such powerful armor, and he wasn't actually using the armor piercing rounds in the M1 either, so it just was having no luck there at all. Second Jackson now popped out because machine lost his Sherman, freed up a bit of population space. Here comes second Jackson chasing the Puma. We are during visibility seems to be extremely low. Jackson runs head on into the King Tiger accordingly. Here comes a blob engaging the Puma. One Jackson goes down. Jackson gets around to the flank of the King Tiger. These rifles need to put the AT grenades on the King Tiger. Can he do it? King Tiger's trying to about face. AT grenades are going to be loose. Oh, down goes the King Tiger to the AT grenades from these rifles. All is not lost for the machine. That went poorly, but at least he got the King Tiger. If he hadn't, this game would almost certainly be over. Did take a lot of losses though. He does have quite a lot of munitions and manpower and fuel in the bank, so he can rebuild those tanks without too much trouble. Frost, on the other hand, is a very far away, very long way away from another King Tiger. He's now going to salvage those wrecks. Try to speed that process up. Stand by, and he's chasing after that pack howitzer. That pack howitzer has actually done quite well. It's up to victory, 23 kills. Almost gets cleared there. Very expensive to reinforce, 40 manpower, and does get cleared. How did that happen? That was at max range. That was pretty much dumb luck there. Pack howitzer gets cleared. I suppose at least now the machine can just crew it. He doesn't have to reinforce it, but losing his veterancy is a bit of a shame. If we look at victory points, we see the machine is in, or is behind 150 victory points. Grenade does quite a lot of damage to those Fallschirmjäger, but it doesn't actually knock out any squad members. And he's actually continuing with the Fallschirmjäger. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone for any overs. I suppose at this point he doesn't even have any Volksgrenadiers. He's lost all of his Volks, so he doesn't really have any infantry-based AT anymore. And even Fallschirmjäger can no longer sneer tanks and run away. Requires 2 Panzerfausts before most tanks get low enough for them to take engine damage. So I think this Fallschirmjäger is about to go down. Yep, nice tank micro there from the machine. She's now pumping out another Jackson, and I imagine he's going to try and make another push onto the Schwer HQ. Puma engaging the Jackson in the south. This is Vet 4 Puma. I'm going to use aim shot here. Oh, but he doesn't manage to get a shot off. in the nick of time, and the aim shot ran out. And oh no, that is really bad. It was the machine there kind of skated around the turret of the Puma, couldn't get his aim shot off, and that's why he lost his Puma there. Aim shot would have disabled the turret of Sherman and at least allowed the Puma to escape. Oh, ISG gets a shot off on that rifle squad. Stern Pioneers try to close it and finish the job, but are unsuccessful. That rifle squad also forced retreat. This is two Vet 5 Stern Pioneers though. That's a pretty fearsome force.
Anti-tank rockets.
We see that Frost is now investing in another Raketenwerfer. Definitely needs it to try and counter the machine's vehicles.
The Americans have cut our supply line.
Machine's doing a good trick here in a pretty defensive position, using his vehicle crew to repair his tank while capping that point. Nicely done. Oh, that's nice. Geez, actually making it rain right now. Been on the field for quite a while though, and it's only got 13 kills. Hasn't done as well as the Packhauser, though the machine was quite active with this Packhauser, getting it really quite far forwards. Really active with it, and I think closing into short range definitely helped its cause. Made it a lot more accurate and a lot more devastating. So she's just pretty much just been left in this area for most of the game. Of course, using your Packhauser in such a forward position does risk losing it, and he did indeed lose it to the Stern Pioneers earlier. So it's now back to Vet 0.
Capture complete. No
Raketenwerfer chases away that Sherman in the north. Not sure what Frost will do next. May think Panther may be the go-to now. Or may still try and stall for another King Tiger. King Tiger may be a bit vulnerable though without the support of a Puma. Sherman has been repaired, returning to the north, trying to prevent Frost from capping that point. Takes a Raketenwerfer shot though and decides to disengage instead. Could probably just push on through. This Raketenwerfer has been sitting in this garrison the entire game, so there's nothing else to stop his Sherman from moving through the north. Not that the machine knows that though. It's the benefit of seeing all. Stern Pioneers engaging these rifles at close range. There's a Stern Pioneer stun grenade. May wipe this rifle squad on retreat. No. Almost. Oh, managed to pick up the captain though. Nicely done there. These Vet 5 Stern Pioneers doing pretty well. Volkswagen squad closes in on the Packhauser. Throws grenades off target. Sherman takes another Raketenwerfer shot and decides to disengage. MG34 here deployed to try and prevent the machine's blob from advancing. Surprised he didn't go for MG34 earlier, but better late than never. Sherman has finally had enough of this Raketenwerfer, tries to move to its flank. That HE shell just... what was that? That was terrible. Way off target. So was that one. Crushes that fire pit there, and he's going to pull back for some repairs. Machine now feeling a bit of pressure in terms of victory points, down to 128. Oh, MJ34 gets cleared there, and he definitely doesn't want to crew it with Fallschirmjäger either. It would be an extremely expensive MG34. Definitely not worth it. Needs another Volk squad. I'm surprised he hasn't fielded one. He's just having trouble keeping the manpower upkeep on his 2 squads here, or his 4 squads, 2 different types. Two pioneers, I believe, with 40 manpower to reinforce, and Fallschirmjäger 47? I think so. So very expensive to reinforce. Grenade dodged there by Frost. In comes the Sherman and the Jackson. Even the Jackson's joining in on the fun, trying to land a shot on some of these squads. Double Panzerfaust there deployed on the Sherman. And Raketenwerfer's trying to chase it down now. Deploy smoke from this direction, and that's nicely done there, predicting where that Raketenwerfer is going to be coming from. But this thing is going extremely slowly. It looks like he's going to try to use duct tape. Critical repair, and the Sherman's going to get away now. Nice use of repair critical there from TheMachine. Raketenwerfer's continuing the advance straight down the centre. Oh, that Sherman got mighty low there. Bit of a pathing issue, causes it to take an extra Raketenwerfer shot. Rifles now advancing straight down the centre. They're going to chase off those Raketenwerfers. Actually have to retreat there. Machine now doing a very careful job of capping in the north. If he just ran straight there, he'd probably get hit, oh no, by that COH2 maybe. I'm not sure. Especially during a blizzard, you don't know what you're going to see. But may have got suppressed by that COH2, because it can actually fire a little bit further than its than that circle suggests. Just go to tactical map. We've seen the machines in a pretty commanding position right now. Fallschirmjäger and Stern Pioneer really sucking on the manpower of Frost. And of course he doesn't really have an easy counter to the machine's vehicles. Losing that King Tiger definitely costing him. But is deciding to save up for another King Tiger instead of going for the Panther. Rifles engaging Fallschirmjäger at long range. Both rifles are very cold. May start losing squad members to the cold now. All the machines barred riflemen though in the south. What happened to that MG34? Maybe the machine killed it. All these squads are super close to being into the AoE of that COH2, and there it goes, starts to open up on those rear echelons. Suppresses them. Here comes the Jackson though, he's opening up and he's going to use mechanised artillery. Oh, and the Jackson's finished the job. So Frost has one final throw of the dice here. He's going to make some big plays with this King Tiger when it comes out. Machine's in a commanding position here. got a triple cap running, leveling up the victory points quickly. He has 2 Jacksons now and a Sherman, going for a 3rd Jackson, which is a good idea. He knows that Frost must be saving up for another King Tiger, and the Jacksons will deal with that King Tiger easily. Of course, it's going to be a bit of leapfrog kind of going on between these Rekenwerfers trying to find a line on the Jacksons, and then the Jacksons trying to get out of the way and then land shots on the King Tiger. So it's definitely going to come down to a bit of micro. How's the ISG doing? 14 kills, so that really hasn't been doing too well for him. As I was saying, maybe if he, maybe they need to decrease the cost of that, because it's leaves OKW in a bit of a sticky situation that's so poor. Packhouse are now getting very bold. What is he doing here? What is this? I think he's going to lose it now. In come the Stern Pioneers from the side. And the Packhouse gets cleared there. Mistake there from the machine, or maybe he's just baiting his opponent to try and take it and soak up his manpower. I'm not sure. Definitely an unusual maneuver there. Machine does need the Sherman to be babysitting these Jacksons though, so he can deploy smoke if necessary and to try and clear infantry from in front of them. Namely the Rekenwerfers. Rekenwerfers now moving in camouflage, trying to ambush these Jacksons. Frost now getting the heat down to just over 50 victory points. Trying to stop the victory point clock from ticking. Machine now going for a bit of a base raid. He's actually in a pretty nice position here, out of the range of these flak emplacements. He's actually bringing all his Jacksons now to complete this base raid, going for the med truck. Not a bad idea. King Tiger very slow, so can't really react to this maneuver with any haste. Battle group has gone down. He may continue the raid. No, he's going straight for the base structure. Should probably go for the mechanized regiment though. No, he's just going for the base. Three Jacksons though, this is a lot of firepower. Is he going to go for the annihilation victory? This could be a rare sight. Looks like he's considering it. Trying to prevent the advance of these Rekenwerfers with these double bar riflemen is doing heaps of damage. I think he's going to clear both these Rekenwerfers. It's just going to be the King Tiger. He needs 3 Jacksons and a Sherman. Jackson's now repositioning to try and find a line on the King Tiger. King Tiger is having a bit of trouble. What's it doing? Smoke grenade from these rifles actually preventing its line of sight. In comes Jackson's. Machine just gassing it around with this Sherman on the road. 3 Jacksons engaged the King Tiger, but there are no Rekenwerfers anymore, and the King Tiger's having a lot of trouble. Rekenwerfer gets recruited there by the Stern Pioneers, desperately trying to prevent these Jacksons from killing this King Tiger. Main gun destroyed. Oh, that King Tiger's gone. That's a goner for sure. And the Rekenwerfer gets cleared there. Well played from the machine. I think Frost, well, he didn't get much value in summary out of his infantry support gun. Probably made too many Fallschirmjäger squads. Maybe should have switched up to Obers. And ultimately having so many squads that cost so much to vet up cost him in the late game. He couldn't afford the upkeep and was having a lot of manpower troubles. As the machine, nice use of the Jeep in the early game, almost took out the Kubel straight away. Used withdrawn refit to get his Stewart out of there once he saw the Puma. Generally, I generally wouldn't do that. But if the Puma got to vet 1, I would definitely do that. But that's just me. And then use those resources to tick up, get to his fast Jackson, which actually didn't do much for most of the game, well, most of the early game. Just kept the Puma honest. And then ultimately Machine amassed a large amount of armor, kept pretty good control of all the points, and that was his key to victory. Look at this Jackson, you can't even see its health bar. Oh, he's trying to withdraw and refit it. Ah, okay, I was wondering what was going on there. So it looks like he's withdrawing and refitting his Jacksons, and he's going to try spam a few more Shermans to deal with all this infantry. Also, the Machine did a really good job. It can be really hard to micro as many squads as he had. He had like 3 re-echelons, 5 rifles, 3 tanks, pack howitzer, M1.
We have secured the target. Standing by for order.
So he did some impressive micro. And yeah, I'll wrap on that, guys. If you'd like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.